just introduced Caitlin Clark here in the building, and it was deafening. She has become must-watch basketball here in the state of Iowa. Since she stepped her foot on campus, ticket sales have gone up 153% for prices to get in and watch her play. If you wanted to be in the building today, you had to buy your ticket 3 weeks ago. It's been sold out for that long with 15,000 people here to watch this game. It is expensive to get in the building, $149 just to get in. The biggest price was $1,100. It is must-watch basketball, but not only what Caitlin Clark has built, fellow seniors McKenna Warnock and Monica Sonano, they have made it exciting to be an Iowa Hawkeye basketball fan.
Iowa coming in 22-6, 14-3 in the Big Ten. Indiana at 26-1, winning their first Big Ten title in 40 years. Big Ten regular season crown and a 14-game winning streak coming in at one loss way back on December 29th against Michigan State.
And that was when Grace Berger, their starting point guard, was out with injury. A part of the season where Chloe Moore McNeil was really able to grow in her confidence when she led the team from the point guard spot.
Indiana, big chip on his shoulder coming in anyway this season, losing to Iowa 3 times last year, so they made up for that. Indiana wins the opening tip. And we are underway in front of a packed house.
And you see Iowa starting out in man-to-man. They will switch their defenses throughout the game, and Indiana looking right away to get Mackenzie Holmes a touch inside. Look at the attention Holmes gets on the block when she catches Dave.
Well, McNeil on the drive. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Berger to let fly. Got it to go.
Grace Berger loves the mid-range game, and there you see Chloe Moore McNeil. As soon as Indiana scores, her #1 job is to find Caitlin Clark and bother Caitlin Clark the entire time down the floor.
So in game number 1, as we know by now, Clark had a big game with 35 points, took a lot of shots, but also turned the ball over 8 times.
Well, she's the player who has to get everyone involved, the player with the ball in her hands a lot. So yes, it's going to be important for her.
Her first one of the day, got it from three-point land. So she's off to a terrific start.
The first time these teams played, it was a fun up-and-down matchup. Both teams shooting the ball really well, in particular in the first half.
And isn't that fun when teams can really score and really shoot it? Their numbers are almost identical in many categories. Parrish on the baseline, and a scrap for that. Iowa comes away with the basketball. On the drive, Martin. And it'll go down. The seniors also very good from three-point territory. Get inside for 2.
And you see both teams are looking to push the pace.
There's an off-target there, but she's hitting an eye-popping 47% beyond the three-point line. Marshall on the wing. Down inside for 2. Well, you talk about shooting percentages. She makes 67%. And like the crowd needed to get louder, they're off to a 7-2 start. Long range, and that's off the back iron by Parrish. Clark in transition. Will kick it. Martin hits it from three-point land. What a start for Iowa against the #2 team in the country.
We've come to expect this from Caitlin Clark. If there's a little bit of space, she is going to drain it. But it's not just Clark on the outside. Monica Sonano handling it in. And when Caitlin Clark draws all that attention, her perimeter players need to hit as well.
Back live here at Iowa. 10-2 start for the Hawkeyes. And a 10-0 run for Iowa that came over 1 minute and 24 seconds. That's like the blink of an eye.
Coming out of that timeout, Iowa in a zone defense, but it doesn't change what they're doing on the offensive end.
McKenna Warnock absolutely bottoms out a 3. Boy, they're very dangerous beyond that line, even beyond Caitlin Clark. 13-2. This crowd into every second. Tough catch, more McNeil underneath.
And a really nice job against that zone for Mackenzie Holmes to turn, find the open teammate, cutting to the lane.
Iowa, the top scoring team, 88 points per game. And looking like they're on all cylinders out of the gate. They're 5 for 5, 3 for 3 beyond the three-point line.
That's all cylinders.
I would say so. Here's Clark, right around the logo where she lives. And getting the turnover back to Berger in transition. She had a huge game when they met the first time. Clark, no shot there. They'll swing it. Martin open. Iowa off to a very, very quick start here. A 13-6 lead for the Hawkeyes, who had a 10-0 run in the blink of an eye to jump out in front. Dave O'Brien, Rebecca Lobo, and Holly Rowe with you. And now the Hawkeyes with a turnover. They came in as the number 6 team in the country, Indiana number 2.
Iowa has had success early in this game, getting stops and doing this. Watch how fast Caitlin Clark pushes the ball up the floor.
And always more than one body on her at a time. A tangle and a foul, a whistle here. 5:31 to go in the first. And a foul will go against the Hawkeyes. That's on Warnock. The 6'1" senior picks up the personal.
Iowa is so good offensively when they have space, and they get that in particular when they're out in transition. Where have their turnovers come so far? Trying to force it into the paint. Indiana in a man-to-man, but doing a good job helping off and clogging inside.
Well, the first meeting was on February 9th in Bloomington. It was pulsating in front of a record crowd of about 13,000. That game had 14 lead changes, 11 ties. And that jumper will go. And looking for Mackenzie Holmes to really start to get rolling. The seniors had a spectacular career, 23-7. That's her average coming into this one. Martin with the bounce. Got it in the lane and a whistle on the play. Stokey will take the hit and head to the line, which is not necessarily a great thing for the freshman. She makes only about 47%. Parrish with the personal.
One of the things Lisa Bluter told us this morning was she understands how important Mackenzie Holmes is, and while that foul wasn't on Holmes, they're going to look to get the ball in the paint, attack her, see if they can get her into a little bit of foul trouble in this game.
Stokey, Iowa Gatorade High School Player of the Year out of Washington High over in Cedar Rapids. She is 6'2".
I love the way this young freshman plays. She runs the floor so well. This is the area of her game, however, where she really needs to improve, and that's at the line.
Any sign of jitters early on? You played in so many big games in front of crowds like this on national television, but you've got two teams that know how to play in this environment.
Yeah, I think Iowa right now is feeding off it. The question is, can they sustain it as this first quarter continues to go on?
Clark, there she goes again. Yes! You talk about range. It's limitless for her.
Dave, there's just no one like her. No one like her in the women's game, college or pro.
The comparisons to Steph Curry keep on coming, don't they? And they are legit when you talk about the range. Across midcourt, she's in shooting range. In transition, Martin, nice move there, and takes the hit as well. Kate Martin, she's been a real factor early here.
This is why you have to guard Caitlin Clark even before she crosses half court. What's that, about 26 feet? When she's going to her left and in rhythm, she's going to drain it, and it energizes the crowd and her team. And what else can she do? Pass the basketball.
The author of 9 career triple-doubles, 35 points in the first game with Indiana, along with 10 assists. And one of, if not the leading player of the year candidate. She's got more games of 25 points than anybody this season. That's 14 times and counting. Just a legendary career. Martin for the three-point play and knocks it down. She has 8. We're talking about Kate Martin, the senior. And Caitlin Clark out of West Des Moines, Iowa. I don't know how you practice against somebody with that kind of shooting ability.
Neither do I. You get a guy on the scout team and just say, pretend you can make those consistently, and we'll see if we can guard you.
Right. Berger beyond the 3. Great passer as well. Slams on the brakes. Or McNeil. Berger takes a stumble in the lane and a whistle there with 3:48 to go in the first. And we're talking about shooting range. If we can graphic that for you, the average three-pointer for 26 plus, the longest in Division I.
I mean, to understand that the three-point line is 22, so 4 feet behind.
Berger with a pull-up pop. Yes. She was superb in game 1 against Iowa. She had 26 along with 9 rebounds and 6 assists and has half a dozen early.
The queen of the mid-range. Paul Pierce, her favorite NBA player. It's why she wears that number she does.
Here's Clark to launch. Got a good clean look. Sonano had it taken away. Or McNeil gets it off for Berger. She wants to push it. Chloe Moore McNeil with a kick out and a long one coming. And yes, Garzone, the 6'3" freshman from Israel.
Yeah, great job and decision by Moore McNeil, because she could have pulled from 3 herself, but instead the penetrating kick to their best three-point shooter.
Davis will set it up. Lisa Bluter on the sideline. In her 38th year as a head coach. Up and in for 2. Stokey, I know you really like her game, and that's one reason why. She's strong.
Yeah, she's a powerful player, and she just sprints the floor hard every time, puts pressure on the defense in transition.
21-13 Iowa. Looking to knock off the number 2 team in the country. Holmes, yes. Sweet turnaround. She has 9 double-doubles this season.
How about Mackenzie Holmes, though, stretching it out a little bit? We're used to seeing her do most of her work within 4 or 5 feet of the basket.
You guys were great with her on game day today. Into the paint and a tie up there. Possession arrow will keep it on this end of the floor. We were talking about the great job she does getting deep in the lane.
Yeah, she does. And here, every time she's gotten touches inside or post up inside, she's getting a lot of defensive attention. That's a little bit of a change from the first time these teams played. So what do you do if you can? You step out, give yourself a little bit of room.
Martin off to a quick start as that shot deflected. Good defense there by Garzone. Scalia outside. She can be a dangerous scorer. Recently at 24 against Ohio State. Whistle there. With 1:51 to go in the quarter. Count that basket.
So you get the catch and quick turn, and Sonano right there barely gets her on the arm. That's why, though, it's so important offensively to be able, as a post player, to score right or left.
Moves to the line. Sonano with number 1. Let's go to Holly.
Well, it took Mackenzie Holmes some time to get going in this game. Her first field goal wasn't until 5 minutes left in the quarter. And her coach in their last huddle said, "You've got to go to work, Mac." They're making it hard. Last time she was in the lane trying to post up 3 white jerseys around her. And so she has drifted out, as you said, Rebecca. But right now she's got to get a new contact lens in there. She's trying to go to work if she can see.
And that's a change, Holly, from the first time these teams played. There wasn't as much defensive attention sent to Mackenzie Holmes, and she's certainly getting it today. Iowa saying, all right, we would rather have you pass it out for a lower percentage shot than take one from inside where you're shooting 69.
How about this run? Most consecutive games, 50% or better. Big Ten over the last 20 years. And a three-point play for Holmes. Indiana's made their last 4. So they're on a 10-2 run. They're down 11 very quickly. Battle for the rebound, and that'll go the other way. Well, our big Monday women's basketball matchup inside the Big 12. Number 19, Texas hosting Baylor in Austin. The 12-3 Longhorns tie with Oklahoma for first in the conference. Coverage beginning at 7 Eastern on ESPN2 and the app. Caitlin Clark, a little breather here at the very end of the first. Nice job here by the Hoosiers regrouping. And for the moment, they've quieted this gigantic crowd. Shot clock down to 10. Laura McNeil took a look. Now down to 6. She'll fire a long one and around and out. Iowa and Indiana, remarkably similar stat lines. Iowa 51% shooting, Indiana 50% over the course of the season. They both make 37% from 3. They both hit 75% at the foul line. In the lane, a little short jumper, and that won't drop for Davis. There's zone using the screen. Got a real good look, but couldn't finish it. Under half a minute to go in the first quarter. Davis looking to make a move. Marshall on the fake. Shot clock a factor now. It's at 8. Davis, and a foul here by Berger. Bit of a bailout there. She picks up number 1.
One of the big things when Caitlin Clark is out of the game, she's coming back in now. You notice how much more time comes off the shot clock?
Yes.
How many more times Iowa has to switch sides of the floor to try to get an open look? 12 seconds left, though. You get your big guns back out here. Clark and Sonano.
Berger, by the way, picking up number 2. Last seconds of the quarter. In for Clark. Trying to make a move on the drive. Gets it in. Laura McNeil will dribble out the final seconds of the quarter, so it ends on an uptick for Iowa. It certainly started that way with a burst for the Hawkeyes right out of the gates.
We've come to see the Stars play today. Mackenzie Holmes getting it done efficiently, as always, for Indiana. And Caitlin Clark draining from 3 as well.